Hey, it's Amanda. Happy Sunday, everybody. I was listening to an Aluna Ash video this morning, one of hers. She's had a couple out today, I think. And if you haven't seen her channel, I'd be surprised. But if you haven't, just search for Aluna Ash on YouTube and you'll find her. Anyway, among other things that she said in one of the videos, my take on it was, if you're being triggered, excuse me, if you're being triggered, to look at what's triggering you and use it as a tool to learn and to transform yourself further. And I know this, but I sometimes forget to do it, and so it's nice to have that reminder. And so I had a couple of things that were bothering me, and I thought I would share in case you guys are having, issues yourself and how you can work through them or whatever and figure out what's going on. Anyway, so the first thing that I noticed is yesterday I got a negative comment on one of my videos, which is not a big deal because I think I've had 3 total for all the videos and all the views, and not really a big deal, but this one upset me and I deleted it. And my friend said, "Why'd you delete it? Just leave it for, other people or whatever might, be helpful in some way." And I just thought, no, because it made me mad because I felt like that person hadn't even really listened to my video. Like maybe they got triggered by some, a collection of videos or something. They just took it out on me, on mine or something. Anyway, it's not a big deal. And I realized that at one time I was that person, and it's like 20 years ago now, but I remember getting kicked out of a forum or something for being, I was angry and I was like, "What are you talking about? This is ridiculous." And so I was that person. And so I know that person's just on their own journey, and it's not a big deal. And it's not about me personally. It's just where they're at. And even though I know that, I hate the reflection of that because I remember being that. And so what I realized from that is I'm fine with understanding other people when they're on their own journey and where they're at, but I'm not giving myself the same benefit. I'm not giving myself the same grace. I'm looking back at that old version of me and I'm hating it. And that's not really helpful. I mean, I need to look back and say, well, that's where I was, and there was stuff going on in my life, and of course I would have felt that way at that time. Just like I do for these people who leave these comments. It's not a big deal. Everybody's where they're at. So, when she said that and I sat down and I thought about, like, why is this triggering me? Why is that a big deal? It really helped to go through and it does sort of transform, when you go, well, you got to look at yourself and give yourself the same love that you send other people on their journey. Even though this is the old version of me, I guess, because all time is now, it was still felt like a part of me. So anyway, and then the second thing that's been bothering me lately is I've been enjoying more meaningful connections and more meaningful, honest conversations the past few years. and lately, they've really been increasing, like, just exponentially. I used to have like one friend that I could talk to honestly and, that I felt would understand. And then I had 2 friends, and now it's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 200, like it's just insane and it's great. But I'm still seeing around me people who can't seem to connect that way, like especially my children. I know if you have kids, 2 of my 3 children will just trigger each other all the time. And I keep trying to explain to them that they're just miscommunicating and they're just misunderstanding based on things that happened in the past. But a lot, and they're getting better, but a lot of the time they just can't seem to connect. And it's really frustrating and it's a trigger for me. And it's not just that, it's looking around at my friends and relationships and they can't connect with their partner, and it's so frustrating to them, and they get so angry and their partner gets angry because they don't understand. And And then and then there's been this trend in the shows that we've been watching lately. Poldark is one that we just finished. I think the 3rd season is all we have on Amazon. But and the relationships in that show are so complex, and and I find myself scoffing at the TV, like, oh, why would she do that, or oh, why would he do that? That's ridiculous. And I don't like any of it. I don't like this disconnection, and I don't like this struggle of having to try to fit in. That's another part of it, trying to fit in with what you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to feel and how you're supposed to think. And so I'm like, why is this triggering me? I'm enjoying more connection, so why is this bugging me? So I think it's because I can see that the way forward for all of us is through connection and honesty, but the biggest challenge that I think we all have is in being vulnerable and feeling vulnerable, because being honest feels risky, and being vulnerable can feel terrifying. So that's where the struggle and the disconnect comes in. But how else can we hope to really connect with each other and understand each other until we're honest with ourselves, until we're being authentic in a kind way, in an understanding way, and maybe practice feeling that vulnerability a little more, and understanding that feeling that doesn't quite feel very good is actually transforming us and transforming, it translates to the other person that you're being vulnerable with, and it'll spread, and then we'll have trust and that connection, that real connection that we all really want, I think. Anyway, just some thoughts on this Sunday morning. Hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll be channeling again tomorrow. See you then. Bye.